Now the methods of the authentication. What are the methods we can use for the authentication? First is a token. Token is a specific object which is verified it is you. Means if you have the token, you have the accessibility. If you don't have the token, you cannot get the authentication. This is actually one-time password. Means the one token used the one time. The next time you will have to read or you will have to access the next token. When you will have the next token, then you will get the one more time accessibility. Okay, so token is a one way where you will provide your identification. Another is a MFA. MFA means multi-factor authentication. So what are the multi-factor authentication? Like there is a multiple factors are used in authentication. One factor like what do you know? Password. What do you have? A card and token. So when the two or the multi-factors means where you will have to provide the first factor as a authentication, again you will provide the next step or the next authentication method to prove your identification. So it is called multi-factor authentication. Another example is when you are logging on the Gmail, you will provide your username and the password, and the user, after getting the username and password, the Gmail will send a OTP on your mobile phone, and you will have to provide the next identification by providing the OTP you have received on your mobile phone. So more than two factors or the more than one factors are used for the providing your identity, known as a multi-factor authentication. It may be the combination of the two or the more authentication mechanism, means your password and the token number. Either your password plus your biometrics. In a biometrics means only you are, like your voice, your thumbprint, your iris. These are the things which is used for the combination of the password and biometrics. OTP also I have told you another type of the authentication. Now there is some authentication services are used in a Linux. It is called SSSD, means System Security Services daemon. So daemon already you know this the type of the service when it is running in a background non-interactive mode, it is called daemon. So this is generally used for the connecting the local system and then authenticate to the remote services. So remote services, one of the example is a like SSH and some other. Another type of the service or the authentication mechanism used by the LDAP service. LDAP actually generally the lightweight directory access protocol, which is the common authentication services. Another is a Cabra server, where you will where the token has been generated for you, and once you will provide your token, you will get the authenticated. Right. So these are some mechanisms or the methods which is used for the authentication. Okay. So let's move on the next way, where the actually description about this authentication, like this is the server A and the server B. Here is the two servers, and this is the LDAP server. LDAP server having the all the information related to you, means your identification and your access level of the data. Means you will provide your identity, so it will check your identity, your username and password. Later on, it will assign the available resources for you. Means you are a user, normal user, so you can access only the normal resources. But if you are the advanced user or the root user, then you will have to access of the multiple resources. Got it? So like client 1 is providing their password authentication or providing the security token to the LDAP server. and when it is proved the password and the authentication way, it is the two-way, means password from here, the token from here, and then once the both are the correct, one case or one correct or two correct, but in this case both should be correct, then you will get the access of the resources. Another type of the authentication mechanism used in the Linux, it is called PAM, Pluggable Authentication Module. So Pluggable Authentication Module is a different type of the authentication service which is used in a different type of the authentication services like Kerberos and the LDAP. LDAP and Kerberos we have discussed already about it in a Network Plus session, so I am not going to explain you again. Configuration allow the control and password policies, and the location of the PAM is the etc pam.d and the sudo. So here is a authentication account, password, session, includes optional required and the system authentication, PAM key init and PAM limits, system authentication. All these are the information are available here. Here you can check and configure. So we are not going to configure the PAM here. We just are going to discuss about the yes, this type of the authentication also exists in a Linux operating system. So how you can manage the password with the PAM? This is the implement the password controls, and then later on this test the password against the different type of the policies which is generating and implemented by the administration. So one is a dictionary attack, means whatever the password you are using, so it will check this is the vulnerable for the dictionary attack or not, means complexity of the password. Whatever the complexity is required, yeah, this complexity match or not, right? And later on password history means whenever the password you have used the previously, again the same password you cannot use. So in this case, again the same password you cannot use. So, and also it is control user by the lockout. And what is the meaning of the lockout? Because lockout means this is protecting from the brute force attack or the dictionary attack. So what does it means? Like you have the username and password, and because username and password can be entered by the using the guessing process. Guessing process means first you know the username is a admin and the password is a password. So the first time it will provide the first password, later on it will provide the second password, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, others, so on. So if there is not a lockout policy enabled, so what happened? The next password, the hacker will try again and again to get the correct password. But if you have the lockout policy, so in the lockout policy, when you provide the 3 times wrong password, your account will be locked. So that is not good news for the hackers, because if the hacker will provide the 3 times wrong password, what he will provide? Then the account will be logged in. Okay, locked. So control user by lockout the from multiple failed login attempts